Welcome to the seventh part of the federalism. In this seventh part, today we are going to learn about the decentralization in India. Decentralization means it's the sharing of power in between the different levels of government. Means whatever the power sharing it was there, sharing of power in between the different levels of the government, that is called that is the meaning of the decentralization. Centralized means keeping the power at one place. Decentralized means dividing into different levels. Okay, the union government can have idea on the problems which is there at country level. Okay, means whatever the whatever the problems it was there at the country level, about the problems the union government will have the idea. At the state level, what are the problems it was there, okay, to whom it will have the idea, the state government. So at these both levels they can solve the problems which are existing at their levels. Means what are the problems are existing at their levels, they can solve the problems, either it may be the union government or state government. Okay, then what about problems which are existing at the lower levels than the state governments? Means at the central level, what in the country level, what are the problems it was there, the central government will solve. At the state level, the state government. Then what are the problems which are rising at the different levels in the society? Okay, so because the lead, then what about problems which are existing at the lower levels than the state government? Because the leaders who are above than the particular range will not have any idea about the problems which are faced at the local societies. Means the leaders, those who are there above than the particular range, they won't have the idea which is going to be faced by their at their lower levels. Means to that leaders, okay, they won't have any idea about the problems which are faced by the lower levels of people. Okay, means in the local societies. So there is a need a governments having a person who is having the idea on the problems of that society. Means there is a need of governments. Okay, that government contains a persons, those are having the idea of the problems of that local societies. Okay, means what are the problems it was there at the local society, about that problem that person should have the idea. Means the members, those who are there in the government, okay, in the local governments, they should have the idea. Okay, and should have the powers to solve their problems also. Okay, and they should have the powers to solve their problems. So the local people only will be a part and parcel of this local government. Means who will take part in this local government, means the local people only. They are only the part and parcel of the local government. So decentralization means sharing of powers from union to state. Means they shared the powers from union to state, and resharing of powers from the state to local governments. Okay, local bodies. Means union to state, union government to state, they shared, but again whatever the shared powers it was there, it is going to be reshared to the local self governments. Okay, so whatever the sharing of power, decentralization of power in between the different levels of government, that is called as a decentralization. Okay, but here if you see, federalism means means having the different levels of government, two levels of government or more levels of government. Here union government and the state government is the two levels of government. Again we added one more government, that the local government, that's why there is a three folded system it was there. So it is called as a three-tier system. There are some issues which deal by central government, and there are some issues which deal by the state government, and there are some issues which are not at all deal by central or state government, and there are also many unsolved questions which has to be found out their answers. Means some issues it will be solved by the central government, some issues it will be solved by the state government, but there is some issues which is not at all solved by both the government, it may be central government or state government. So and there is a lot of unsolved questions also which had to be found out their answers. Okay, so to have a better solution of these problems and better understanding, the major step taken by the government to have the third level of government. means there is only two levels of government. If will means the two levels of governments will solve the problems at their levels itself. In the below level, they cannot able to solve the problems. For that purpose, to solve the problems at the below level, okay, the government got an idea, okay, to have the third level of government, okay. So, because of that reason only, in 1992, the Union government passed one amendment, okay, in the Constitution, that is the 73rd and 74th Amendment, okay. What is the 73rd and 74th Amendment means? Local self-governments in the rural area and urban area. 73rd Amendment is the local self-governments in the rural area, and 74th Amendment is the local self-governments in the urban area. Okay, the third level of government where you have the local bodies, means third level of government is nothing but is having the local bodies. Again, in these local bodies, it contains three-tier government. Again, in these local self-governments also there is a three tiers. Already here we are calling it as a three-tier system. One is the union government, state government, and the local government. Again, in these local governments also there is a three-tier system. You will see here union government, state government, and local government. This is the three-tier. And in the local government also there is a Jilla Parishad, Mandal Parishad, and Gram Panchayat. This is also called as a three-tier. Okay, right? This is about the decentralization in India. Okay.